My name is Stephanie here in the Volume.com studio with you. And as promised, I am joined by a very special guest this morning. We've got Ruston Kelly here live in the Volume.com studio. How's it going?
Hello, it's
Happy
going very
release
good.
day.
Oh, thanks.
Your third full-length album, The Weakness, out today.
Third record.
How does it feel having it out in the world?
It feels pretty nuts, actually.
Yeah, I kind of I am not a musician, so I don't fully get the feeling, but I kind of imagine it always feels kind of crazy.
Yeah, I mean, we've been working on this record since we recorded the Weakness, the title track, in September of 2021.
So yeah, that's been a minute.
Yeah, it's been a minute, but it's been a long process to be able to dial it in right, get the right songs. I spent a lot of dedicated time to make sure that I said exactly what it was I wanted to say.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah. So by the time in September 2021, did you have all of the writing for this done by then, or was that just that first track?
Yeah, most of it.
Okay.
Most of it was done.
So yeah, you've been sitting on these for a long time.
I've been sitting on these for a long time.
So it's gotta is it kind of a relief, or is it more
Yeah, I mean it's
jittery?
It's such a, it's cathartic to express yourself, in song by from the ground up, by sitting there and creating it, writing it, figuring out what it is that you mean, and then piecing it all together kind of conceptually with themes and motifs to create a record. And then to record the record, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then have the production be the right way, et cetera, and then the artwork, and then all of the other things that go along with, the extension of a record right before you release it.
Mm-hmm.
And so releasing it, it's super cathartic, but a lot of the catharsis has taken place already,
Yeah, so it's almost I guess it's the long build up makes it
con.
the long one. Well, I don't want to jump in too quick, but you've got a few songs we're playing today, and I thought we could jump into one from the new record, I'm assuming. I guess I actually didn't ask you that ahead of time.
No, it's from the new record.
And you've got your baritone ukulele with you?
Yeah, I know. I'm that guy.
No, tell me about it. How did tell me about the baritone ukulele?
I mean, look, I'm not a ukulele guy, okay?
You don't need to sound so defensive. Nobody's accusing you.
I know, but I feel that towards myself. I'd look at ukuleles. They're Xavier Rudd can do it. You know what I mean? But I was in Joshua Tree writing for this record, and I broke a string on my guitar, and I was thought that I'd go out there and write this I wanted to go out and write the best song on the record in Joshua Tree. Mm-hmm. And I got there in the first day, literally nothing came out.
I mean, those are totally reasonable expectations. I'm going to write the best song right now.
I mean, I always want to do the best that I can, but especially in that setting. Day 2, nothing. Day 3, day 4, day 5, and I was there for a week. Day 7, I was you know what? Whatever. I'm not writing anything. So I went into town, and there was this little music shop, and they had some guitars that I didn't really love that much, but they had a baritone ukulele. And I never played one before, never seen one before. And I picked it up, and I was oh, this is a little guitar.
It's just a
guitar, sweet little guitar. And I took it back to the little cottage and just kind of sat outside and just turned my brain off and learned a new instrument. And the riff for this next song just kind of came out, and the song flooded out from there. Mending Song.
Let's hear it. Mending Song from Ruston Kelly live on Lightning 100.
I was born in Carolina, near the paper mill. I learned the town was haunted, rebels had been killed. Something grew up twisted in me, ripping all the seams. But I was mended by the love of my mama, to fight the devils down in me. I left for Nashville with no money to my name. I came on 17th like I was on a stage. The road that I took then is full of ditches and mistakes, and deep in the shadow of my failures, I saw some things are worth the pain. 'Cause I wanna live like I'm only made of air, and I will forget what I've done out of despair. I'm trying to find the happiness and healing in the thing that still needs some repair. My marriage ended and I moved up north to mend. I tried to fight it like a needle in my skin. The hole inside me kept on growing. Everything went black. But then I heard the words of my father. Have faith, there's no storm that doesn't pass. 'Cause I wanna live like I'm only made of air, and I will forget what was done out of despair. I wish you only happiness and healing, and I hope that you're finding it out there. I'll carry every life I've lived into the next. Maybe St. Peter will just average all the best. But don't let me into heaven to Goliath knows defeat. And when it's done, I'll slip into nirvana and let go of everything that's holding me. Holding me.
Lightning 100, that is Ruston Kelly live with us here in the volume.com studio. I should also mention you can also stream the video of this right now live over at volume.com/lightning100. That's sounding so, so beautiful. Thank you for that.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. And so, I mean, at least from an outside perspective, that song feels very much like summing up a lot of the themes of the new album.
Yeah. I mean, the purpose of this record was to I wasn't alone in having a bit of an identity crisis when it came to 2020.
I think that's safe to say.
Yeah. We all were forced to, either sink or swim. And I think swimming for me looked like taking a lot of personal inventory. Mm-hmm. And especially going through that. And then I went through a divorce at the same time. My sister went through a divorce, and there was some family stuff going on as well. And I was having a bit of an identity crisis on a variety of fronts. And, art has always been a way to, make me understand what my point is to myself and in the world. And, so I tried to write about it, and it didn't quite work out. I just couldn't. There's too much emotion to filter out of me. And so I moved up north to Portland, Tennessee, and bought it was the first house built in Portland.
Wow.
It was the mayor's house, actually.
That's got to be gorgeous.
It was kind of sick. There was this black and white picture of the mayor in front of the house. And he was wearing a monocle and a top hat, as you would.
Very old-timey classic.
As you would suspect. But to long-windedly answer your question, it was, I thought, to be able to figure out, who I really am, I had to kind of go back from the start and follow the thread from there.
Yeah. So did you end up writing a lot of this record in that house up in Portland?
Yeah, in one room in the house.
Just kind of you up there. And you were fixing it up too. I think I read that in one of the interviews.
I was attempting to.
Okay.
I was attempting.
Is that something you've done much of before?
No. But TK, my dad, he was an architect back in the day, and he built the first two houses that we lived in. So
oh wow,
he kind of would come up there and show me the ropes a bit, and I would be like, "Oh no, yeah, I totally understand that."
And then he steps away, and you're like, "I totally don't."
There were so many times it was dude in a house alone, and I was wearing paint covered overalls, and I kind of just I don't know, disheveled and there's paint everywhere. It's like you go to like nail something in and then like part of the wall completely falls
You're just
off.
like, oh boy, okay.
Cool.
But
All right.
doing something, I mean, I got to imagine like, you know, I don't know, based on absolutely nothing other than my own assumptions about this, I got to imagine that like doing something like that, that's like totally unfamiliar and you don't really do, has to be like kind of a cool way to also approach writing a record. Like, because you've been writing forever. So sort of like meshing that with something that's totally new to you has to kind of be a cool combination and open your mind differently, I'd imagine.
Yeah.
I'm making a lot of assumptions here, but
no, I mean, you're kind of bullseyeing it. Like I said, there's a lot of tough emotions that, typically that's been a bit of my MO is to kind of easily let those out through writing and the writing process. But, this time I couldn't. So I was like, okay, like I can't write about it. I like better get to work about it.
Yeah,
you know? Like
work
put my
around
hands
it.
to something, put my mind to something that didn't have anything to do with creativity. Really, it just had to do with work that I didn't really want to do, but I set out to do.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's interesting, and this is slightly different, but I think tied in is I feel like a lot of times I hear like people will come in and talk about making their albums, and they're like, yeah, so like what ended up being their favorite song or like the single on the album, like they thought the whole album was done, and then it's like once they called it done and they're like not writing anymore, then what they consider the best thing pops out of their head.
Yeah, that happened.
Yeah, I think there's something about like redirecting energy that really does a lot.
Yeah, redirection of energy is super important, especially to creative types. Like, because you can kind of like, tap that well till it's dry, and you can try to keep on, just like plowing through rock. And like at that point, there's really no purpose to it because it doesn't serve anything other than maybe your desire to get something out. You got to fill the well back up somehow.
Have you been reading The Artist's Way?
No, I have.
was like, I only asked.
Did they say that in there?
Fill the well is like literally like a whole thing
really?
in that. Yeah.
Old Julia Cameron?
Yeah. Well, I thought that, and then also because I think it was the New York Times profile about the album.
Yeah.
They said something about your to-do list was in the background of the room, and it said something about 3 pages of free writing, which is also from The Artist's Way.
That is, so I did, the first time like I kind of beat addiction, I felt like the well was, couldn't even find it. You know what I mean? And that book, it started like I didn't read the whole thing, there's some things that's like I don't necessarily agree with all of it, but there's some great stuff I took from it.
Totally. Yeah. Didn't mean to put you on the spot with that. You said that phrase and I was like, oh man, yeah, I recognize that.
No, you're good.
So tell us more about like recording the album. You did this one out in LA with, I totally meant to ask you how to pronounce this
Nate
name.
Mercereau.
Okay, thank you. That was what I was going to guess. Nate Mercereau.
Yeah.
And it was really just like the two of you guys, right?
Yeah, pretty much. So, Jared Kay and I, my producer from Dying Star and Shape and Destroy, we had tracked a couple demos of these songs, and I really loved the vocals on those, and so we ended up using some of those vocals from the Nashville recording session, but we recorded in Los Angeles and Tahunga, which was like, it's like up there, kind of in the
That's
canyon.
like in California?
Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
I was like,
yeah.
I don't know where that is, but yes.
I didn't know where it was, but Flea lived there, which was cool.
Yeah.
And there's this cool little Italian sandwich shop we'd get food at. But yeah, no, it was very serendipitous to work with someone like Nate that already had this kind of like bedrock of material that he had made, kind of other than the projects he'd worked on. He had stuff that he would record, instrumentals he would record at night when he was just alone. That was just like, maybe to him was like off the wall or like, left of center of what he was doing. And those are some of the first things he played me in the moment I walked in. He played me those. I was like, yep, that's the dude.
That's it. Yeah.
Let's go.
So just like right off the bat, you're like, this is the person I need to be working with right now.
Yeah, from the jump.
That's so cool. You are listening to Ruston Kelly here in the Volume.com studio, live on Lightning 100. You can also watch video of this live streaming over at Volume.com/Lightning100. Just put out brand new album, The Weakness, today. Do you want to play us maybe one more from the song or the new album?
Yeah, sure.
Which one you want to do next?
I'm going to do Cold Black Mile.
Cool.
This one went deep. These wounds will last. This one's more than just the past. This one's still here. It fills up these rooms. Everything I see around here reminds me of you. It's a war I fight every night, out here alone on the cold black mile. It's in the gray of the morning. It's in the sound of her name. It's in the walls of that home where we lived, where the love just couldn't stay. And this might be the hardest thing I'll ever have to survive. It's time to walk down the cold black mile. I was on the front lines. Yeah, you watched me retreat. But when I came back busted and broken, I was still standing on my feet. No, I'm not on my knees anymore. I ain't praying for some open door, waiting for something we both know just don't belong here anymore. I'll take the pain, feel it grow inside. It's all I can carry on the cold black mile. It's in the pain without answers. It's in the things you can't change. It's in the calling it forever, but then the words just blow away. And I might die 1,000 times, but I know I can survive. I'll just keep on pushing down the cold black mile. Might have taken everything, but it gave me back my life. Morning is breaking now on the cold black mile.
Lightning 100, that's Ruston Kelly live with us here in the Volume.com studio, playing us a few songs from his brand new album, The Weakness, sounding amazing this morning.
Thanks.
No, really, that was really beautiful.
I appreciate that. Just bearing my soul at 11 a.m.
I'm not going to, there is something, off-putting is too strong of a word, but intimidating maybe about like standing here and listening to these and being like, man, I don't want to like be all like happy and like, or not happy,
You're good.
But you know what I mean.
I do know exactly what you mean, and you're totally fine the way you are.
But if people are listening in town, you're actually going to be doing I think an acoustic set tonight, right? Over at Grimey's.
It's just like a stripped down version.
Okay, yeah.
I'll have
more
some
than
stuff.
this.
Yeah,
like something between this and like full.
Yeah,
full band.
I bought my first electric guitar. So
you bought your first electric guitar?
I mean, I've had one when I was like a kid.
Yeah.
You know, when I wanted to be Jimmy. But
didn't we all?
we all wanted to be Jimmy. I still wanted to be
I didn't
Jimmy.
make it very far. I took like guitar. I think I've spent most of my guitar lessons just talking to my guitar teacher about music, which is probably why you're the one playing guitar and I'm the one not. But
I mean, I went to a guitar lesson. I went to one guitar lesson. This dude wanted me to play hot cross buns. And I was like, no, this isn't going to work for me.
Yeah, that's I always kind of, not to get like too off topic here, but I always kind of wondered why they do that to kids in music lessons with
boring.
like even like piano, anything, piano, clarinet, guitar. It's like, just let them play songs they like.
I mean,
Because then they're
think,
going to
like,
work harder.
You know, the thought is like to get them to know the basics, but like I think you need to know the basics of how the instrument makes you feel before you care about knowing the basics.
Right.
Of, like,
yeah, you got to make them
how to
care
do it, you know?
first. But so anyway, yes, tonight Grimy is going to be doing a free in-store.
Yep.
5 p.m. to 6 p.m. And you're doing some record signings out there too.
I mean, you know it.
So, I mean, I love in-stores at Grimey's are always so fun.
Yeah,
like
they're
the
super
best.
fun.
And then you're also heading out on tour next week, right?
Oh, snap. Yeah.
Which
that's
is maybe
actually-
new information to you. I don't know.
No, I mean, I've known, but like, you know, you've like planned so much for these things.
Yeah.
And then they're like, then
they're
happen.
there.
You're like, whoa, that's literally next week. But yeah, we start rehearsals this weekend.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I wrote the date down, but I'm pretty sure it's in like 5 days.
Yeah, we start first shows in Louisville on April 12th.
And you have like some really great openers for this tour. I know you have
I'm
like
so excited.
I know you have like Annie DeRusso,
Yep.
who's local here in Nashville, and like we love Annie DeRusso. I think you had Noah Kahn and Per, who I like really like, and I've played on our New Music Monday show here. And then in the Nashville show, you got Jenny Lewis, so that's gonna be like just so cool.
Well, no, I'm opening for Noah.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah, Per is coming out. Per is so good. And then we've got Briscoe is a band from Texas, and we got Richie Mitch and the Coal Miners, which is very kind of like Sufjani Manchester Orchestra.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I don't know them.
They're
But
so
that
sick.
sounds very up my alley.
And then Jenny Lewis, and then also got Tommy Prine is added to the
I didn't even
Ascend
know
show.
that.
That's
At the
'cause
Nashville
we haven't
one?
announced it yet.
Oh, well, now, okay, there you go.
Yeah.
Hot news right now. And you just, you produced his record, right?
I did, yeah, with Gina Johnson.
That must have been really cool.
Yeah, like I mean,
have you done much producing before? Was that
no,
kinda...
the only other one was my dad's.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
and
which that was like 2 years ago, right?
2 years ago, yeah, we did them at the same time. Tommy's record
that's
and
cool.
my dad's. Yeah, so it was a nutty time.
Yeah, but I can feel like they could kind of like feed off each other a
Yeah,
little.
I mean,
like,
yeah, and like being there and being, you know, going to the studio every day and sitting in like the producer's chair rather than going.
It's like a pretty different
It's fun.
perspective.
It's fun. Yeah, I feel like I can like hold my coffee, you know, and I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, cool. Like, whereas like if I go into the studio, like I'm just like focused on what I'm playing and this and that. But
did it make you think about like doing your album differently?
I definitely proved to myself that I don't know like a ton, you know, but at the same time, like I do, I don't know, like I trust my sense of like what I think sounds good.
Yeah.
You know, and to roll with that. And that's why it was so important to have someone like Gina Johnson, who actually engineered Shape and Destroy, and is a fantastic producer, but she also knows all of the language, you know, and I don't really know all of the language, but it made for a really great combination. And then Tommy was just like, so like at that time, so fresh, green, excited. These songs were just like pouring out of him, you know, for all the right reasons. So,
Yeah, that sounds like a really cool experience.
it was cool.
Yeah, especially having like, I feel like a young voice, like, because Tommy Prine's pretty young.
Yeah,
right?
he's 27.
Okay, yeah. So him, and then also working with your dad is like, I
Yeah,
love
that
that kind
was
of like cross generation thing happening.
First record on Tommy and then first record on Dad, but Dad's was 40 years in the
Yeah,
making. You know?
that's such a cool story.
I know, it's crazy.
I feel like we like don't have time to get into that whole thing, but I really wish we did. But like, yeah. It's a really fascinating story. But before we go, you want to do one more song for us?
Yeah.
What's this last
Hell
one gonna
yeah.
be?
This one's called Saint Jupiter. 1, 2. The flowers from Saint Jupiter are growing in the yard, and I made sure that I planted them at least 3 feet apart to discourage all the morning pissers try to leave their mark. It's been a long, long summer. It's been a long year. I feel fat and old and dumber, and I'm watching time disappear. The flowers from St. Jupiter look better in these pots. I remember when we bought them, I complained 'cause it was hot. If I could travel back in time, I'd just shut my mouth and let you shop. It's been a long, long winter. It's It's been a strange year. There ain't a day that I don't miss her, but that's just how it is around here. Yeah. The flowers from St. Jupiter are 50 cents a pack. The ones that grew on Jocelyn Road have shriveled and turned black. But if it's meant to be, the things that leave someday come back. But that's a long time waiting. That's a hard life. So I'll just keep the fire in me raging, and I'll be doing alright. I'll just keep the fire in me raging, and I'll be doing alright.
Lightning 100. We've got Ruston Kelly live here in the volume.com studio, ringing out that last note straight into the mic. I was like, I don't know if that's gonna quite work the same in here, but I appreciate the effort. But thanks so much for coming in this morning.
Thanks
and
for having
congrats
me.
again on the new record.
Thank you. I
And
always love coming in here.
I mean, it's just so fun to have you. I know before we did, I think last time you were here, we did like a full like secret show in studio thing with like an audience
that was like
and everything.
a while ago.
I know, yeah. That was like before I was on air. I was like sitting on the floor running sound like next to you.
Dang.
For that. That was fun though.
Yeah,
I just kind of, I actually totally forgot about that till right now.
Whoa, core memory.
Yeah, there we go. Unlocked.
Yeah.
But okay, let me make sure I hit all of this now. So The Weakness out now today. You can listen to it everywhere. Grab a copy at Grimey's today because Ruston's going to be out there doing an in-studio performance and record signing at 5 p.m. That is free, but first come, first serve. That will, I'm imagining, probably fill up. So, like, you know, get there early. And then heading out on tour next week. The Nashville show going to be on June 2nd at Ascend Amphitheater with Jenny Lewis and Tommy Prine. And you can grab tickets for that over on your website, I'm assuming, rustonkelly.com.
Yes, you can. rustonkelly.com.
Cool. I think I got it all out. Did I miss anything?
You literally nailed it.
Okay, perfect. Great. Thank you so much again for coming in today.
Thanks.
All right, we're going to take a quick break right now, and we'll be back with some more local music from ZG Smith up next on Lightning 100.